Good afternoon, Miriam. Thank you very
Good
much for
afternoon.
your time.
You're very
And
welcome.
thank you. And as with the previous sessions, those sessions are for young Roma boys and girls, with the aim to inspire them, to show them positive role models within our community, and to show them that everything in life is possible with a bit of obviously courage, bit of endurance. Everything can be achievable if you work very hard. And
Yes.
so that's why I'm very obviously grateful for your time and for you being here today, Miriam. And to start this short interview, I would like to ask you first about yourself. Where are you from? From which city? Maybe what country? And how you came to UK?
So I am from Slovakia. I'm from Barrio originally. I came here with my parents around 14 years ago. We came here. Well, my father was here before. We came here around 2 years. Then we've decided that it's time to come here to live with him. But we mainly came here for education and obviously for a better life, like most people do.
Okay. So how old were you when you left Slovakia?
I was 10.
You were.
So yeah.
Mhm. And what was your experience like living in Slovakia? Do you remember any, how?
So I've had a quite good life because we lived in a small city. All of the family we lived all in the same area. I went to school only till year four.
Mm,
I actually liked school a lot. And then we moved here, so the language was a bit difficult for me because I really enjoyed school back in Slovakia. And when I came here, I kind of seen that there are big differences in the schools and the way they teach it here. So it was a bit shock. But I enjoyed Slovakia. I think that I had a really good childhood, and I wouldn't really complain because, as I said, the area where I lived, all my family lived there, all the neighborhoods, everyone got along with each other. So it was not bad, but just I remember that, from the older people, because I was obviously only 10 years old, everybody was, looking for jobs. It was people were struggling with money, but my father, he worked abroad, so we were kind of okay, but it was a bit of a strange situation. Just because most of the fathers, they all worked abroad because there was no really work where I lived because it was such a small city. So that's why when my father came here, it was just a better option for us to come here so that we can all be together instead of, seeing him once every 3 months for 3 days. So
okay. And when you moved into the UK, how was it? What was the experience like to go suddenly into UK school? New language, new culture, new people. How was it for you?
it was actually really strange for me. As I said, I couldn't understand why in primary school I had to sit on the floor, and in year six I was learning things that I was learning there in year three, so it was a bit slower the learning, I guess. But I didn't speak any English when I came here. Well, I had a few lessons when I was in Slovakia before we came, but I didn't really learn much more than from hello, how are you? So it was a bit strange, but I actually learned English within 7 months. I spoke fluently, completely fluently. So it was a bit strange for me, but then I only went to year six, which is the last year of primary school. After that, I went to a secondary school, and I was the only Eastern European kid in the school.
Yes.
So that was quite difficult for me because people didn't understand where I was from, who I was, and how I can speak another language. And because I spoke English very, very well, I actually spoke better than I speak now. So it was really, really difficult for me because I couldn't fit anywhere. And yeah, being the only Eastern European kid and trying to explain to people that I'm from Slovakia, they were like, where is that? People had no idea, well, the kids had no idea where I was from. So it was a bit difficult for me then. But obviously, as time went by, I was still the only Eastern European kid there until I think year 9 or 10. And then a few more started coming into like year 7 and 8. But by then I already made friends and everything by then. But at the beginning it was really strange and difficult because all the other kids from the Eastern European kids who went to the primary school with me, they all went to the same school and I didn't. So it was a bit strange for me then.
And what about after secondary school? Where did you go from there?
So I went and I did A levels. So I did psychology, sociology, and law. I then actually enrolled to uni, but I enrolled to psychology. Then I went on and spoke to a few psychologists, a few people who studied psychology, and everybody was saying the same thing to me, that psychology is a bit of a subject because you have to have a lot of experience, and you have to, basically everyone was saying to me that you have to work for free, so you have to do voluntary work for many years until you actually get somewhere. Like, you'll just be working as an admin for most of your time while you're young, and you've just finished. So that really put me off, and I was like, I don't know whether I really want to go and do something and then never get a job in it until like I'm maybe 40 or something, you know. At the time I was 18, I was a bit confused about that. I didn't really know if that's what I want to pursue. So I actually started working with social services, and I really loved it. I worked with child protection, and I fully enjoyed it. So then I went and I studied health and social care, because that's what I really enjoyed.
Mhm.
So once I've finished that, I just kind of, I was working with child protection for about 2 or 3 years. No, for 2 years. Um, and then, yeah, I just gathered that I loved social care, and I loved the whole idea of, um, helping people. Because a lot of the people who I worked with were from Eastern Europe, and they didn't understand why the um, guidelines of the
Mhm.
British government are the way they are, and why they need to follow them. So that's why I kind of felt like I wanted to explain this to the people, so that they understand that what they think is normal in Slovakia is not normal here. It's not the okay. So that's why I thought, okay, that this is what I'm going to continue doing.
That's absolutely brilliant. And I know that this is very um, big topic and very sensitive topic within the Czech and Slovak and Roma communities.
Mm.
You might remember the big tensions all around the UK in 2012, where there was this report on YOI TV where there was somebody was saying that the social services and foster parents are stealing Roma
Yeah.
children from the families, and it was a huge problem, So
Yep.
I see, how important your job is, really,
Yep.
what you're doing. So that's brilliant. And I guess when you mentioned that you like to help other people, it's kind of stick with you. And I believe what you do now is still within the same remit.
Yep. Definitely. It was just the thing, because the Roma community here grew so much from when I came here. When I came here, there was not really too many people here. There was Polish community here, but not so much Slovakian and Czech. So I kind of seen that this is getting bigger, and a lot of people have problems. They didn't know who to go to, and although their children spoke English, they couldn't help them because some of the language is a bit, complicated. It's complex. They didn't understand, and then they didn't want to do it for them. So the older people needed help. So I worked with Roma Community Care, and when I worked with Roma Community Care, I enjoyed the job because you get to help people, and they benefit from your help. So, and they have nowhere else to go. So, and it's your community. So I really enjoy that. So after that, I went onto doing something else. But right now, I opened my own office where I do this. So, we help people fill in forms, deal with any inquiries regarding benefits, debt, utility, whatever issues that they may have. We are there to, support them and provide them help. That's, that fits them, because there might be people who might provide help here, but they are not actually Roma. And for a lot of people here, it is more important to speak to someone who is Roma, because they feel more comfortable and they feel like I understand them. And they can also speak Roma if they don't speak very good Slovakian or Czech. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
And it's important to have this mutual trust as well in somebody from your own country and from your own background. I know that from here in Peterborough, there are lots of people that from different communities that abuse the power and also their position, where they, for example, charge for, other nationals for EU application, £300, I had this elderly gentleman. He was in his 80s, and he paid £300 to this person. It's just horrendous. So yeah, it's so important to have somebody that you can trust and you can go to for help.
No, yeah, of course, definitely. We are a profitable company, but our prices do not. They are nowhere near that. They are very far from that. We are not. We would not want to take advantage of anybody. We are there to provide our services, but we are not taking, we don't want to be one of those people who do this, who take these £300. We don't want that. We want to continue to build our clientele so that we can help them. It's not just about money.
Absolutely, and people most of the time they don't mind actually paying, for a service. It's just not being, as you said, not being taken advantage of, and that's very, very important bit. So no, that's absolutely amazing that people in the community in Derby has got this opportunity. Do you get also customers from different cities coming to you?
No, we get people only from Derby, but we actually don't only have Roma. We basically, the people that come and see us are from all over Derby, and they vary in backgrounds. So we are there to help everybody. But 90%, like I would say 80% of our clients are Roma, but they are not from other cities. We do have a lot of people who just came from other cities and they come to us straight away as soon as they arrive. So we've got that, but not from other cities. We haven't had that so far.
Okay. And if people want to contact you or get help, how can they contact you?
So they can send us an email, or they can write to us on Facebook. We are S&M Multi-Services on Facebook, or they can give us a call. Whenever the people call us, we have the lines on our phones, so we can pick up anytime they need any help or support, whether we're here. So we're not just in the office and we provide help there. We can also do it at the office.
That's amazing. Okay, looking back to your childhood and your teenage years, what was your dream job at the time?
I actually wanted to be a psychologist.
Okay, so I guess obviously working with people, in a way, working in the office, it takes it kind of takes a psychology anyway, to work with certain people, whether it's person that maybe doesn't understand fully what you say, or maybe is under stress or anxiety, and they come to you for help. It takes anyway somebody that understands a little bit of psychology of people. So I guess you are not far from your dream.
No, I always knew that I wanted to work with people. I'm not the type of I know there's different kind of people. Some people like to sit behind a computer and do their job, which I understand, but I prefer to speak to people and to, provide some sort of service and speak to people face to face. So I knew that this is definitely what I want to do. I just wanted to have this one-to-one contact with people while I'm at work. Just kind of sitting in an office and, just working with a computer is not really for me. I know it's maybe for other people might prefer this. For me personally, it's not something I can do it, but it doesn't, I don't feel like I'm reaching my full potential, if that makes sense.
It does,
yeah.
And looking into the future, let's say 10 years from today, where do you see yourself?
So I actually would like to continue the job that I'm doing now, or do something to do with it. So continue helping people and, share my knowledge with other people. I would actually like to go and study psychology. Once all of this pandemic is over. Right now, I wouldn't want to do it from home. I want to go and study and be able to speak to people and go do voluntary work. So I am planning to go and do this, but I would still continue just to be helping people. And I do want to stay in the job that I am now, or somewhere around that. So I don't want to really swipe away, like go away from that. I want to stay in the same sector that I am in now.
Okay. What about any plans for kind of franchising, maybe expanding to different cities? And
well, we would like that. At the moment, it's a bit difficult to, we've got big visions, but since we've just started, we want to build our clientele here and provide the best services here first.
Absolutely.
Before we can, go to other cities, because what we need to do is we need to establish, we want to see exactly what issues people may have and issues that may be arising now. Since Brexit came to place, we want to see what are going to be the changes with the people coming here, if the people might be wanting to go back to Slovakia, to Czech Republic or Poland or wherever it is that they may be from, because we understand that right now some people may have different issues. So we want to establish what the issues will be, and we also want to start organizing projects and events, but at the moment we can't do that. So we need to do that. We want to do that first, and then we are planning to expand. So
okay, lovely. And So, obviously, apart of the things that you've already mentioned, what do you particularly like about the UK?
So I just like the way of life here. I like that people, you know, from you get people here from all over the world, and you can, when you speak to people, they don't see you the way that they would see you in our countries, which is, you know, as a Roma, and it's, if you look a certain way, you might not get discriminated face to face, but it is there, and you know that. So this is what I like here, is that everyone gets treated the same way, and usually even if someone does have some sort of comment, you kind of can just ignore it, because then 90% of the people are not like that. So that's what I like about this country. And also you've got many opportunities here. You can study, you can work if you are willing to, you can do everything. You don't have to be, you know, stuck in one place, and you've always got potential to grow and to, you know, go up. In Slovakia, it's not really like that. It's a bit difficult, especially if you are Roma or if you are, you know, younger. It's difficult. It's more difficult. Not in here. It's not like this. You can really progress, and you can, you know, better yourself here. So you've got a lot of opportunities here, which is another thing that I really like about this country.
Absolutely. Yeah, I completely agree with you. And now looking into the Roma aspect of our debate, what does it mean to be Roma?
I'm actually, you know, very proud to be Roma, because we've got our own identity, and we've got our, you know, the culture, the traditions, and the thing is, everywhere in the world that you go, you're able to speak to them, because we've got pretty much the same language. I've been to many countries, I've traveled to a lot of places, and almost everywhere I meet Roma, they speak almost the same way that all the other Roma do. So it's I know that we don't have a country, but we are all kind of together all the time. So no matter where you go, you're able to spot a Roma. You can see who is Roma, who isn't. And our culture, you know, we have a lot of music, a lot of dancing, and I think our culture is fun. And it's about family, which is also very important, because in our culture, if there is no family, I mean, you can't really, they say that, you know, are you really Roma if you're not really close with your family? You don't, you know, go to places with them, and, you know, go to all the parties that we do and all that. I mean, it's quite important. This is an important thing of our culture, which is why I really like it. We are very family, you know, family based, and we all stick together, which is, I think, really important.
And do you speak Romanes yourself?
Yes, I do. Of course I do. I speak two types of Romanes. I actually speak the Latvian Romanes as well fluently.
Oh, okay. That's amazing. Other question about the Roma. Would you say that the role of Roma women is changing in the society?
I think it is. I think it definitely is, because I know that obviously if we're looking back, Roma women were kind of, you know, at home, and the men were the breadwinners. And now it's changing. The women also are going to work. They are looking after themselves. They want to work. They want to better themselves as well. And they are also looking for this for their children. They want their children to go to school, to be educated. So I think it's really changing. I think the values are really changing now. They are not the same as they were before, where women were, you know, at home cooking, doing the cleaning and looking after the kids. It is changing, and you can see it now that a lot of the 90% of the Roma women are now at work. They are not, you know, just it's equal now. So the men and the women have equal roles when it comes to work, even looking after the kids. It's becoming more equal, which is something I really like. I think that's much better, that, you know, women have now are becoming a bit more empowered, and they understand that they can actually do it just what men can do. Because in the Roma culture, when you're growing up, you kind of see one thing, and you don't really see the moms going to work. And, you know, for example, my mom, she was always at work. So even when we lived in Slovakia, she was going to work, she was a social worker. So I kind of seen that. So that's why I wanted to do the same. And I feel that this is important for the kids to see their mums and their sisters and their aunties also doing the same, because it really influences the children, I think.
Last question. What would be your final message to all the Roma children and young people listening to this video? What would you recommend to them?
So I would definitely recommend them, if they want to do something, to continue doing it, no matter what it is. Because I understand that sometimes parents might want to get you to be someone, but you don't actually enjoy it. So if, for example, they want to be musicians, let's say, I think that they should pursue this by going to a music school, or, you know, pursuing music, going to college, going to university. Or if not, just to, you know, speak to the teachers, speak to their parents about things that they can do, or go to their local youth centers to speak to them about what they can do. And for example, if they want to be, I don't know, a doctor or lawyer, how they can achieve this, and see whether they really want to do this, to speak to professionals. Because in there, I understand that in a lot of youths in the Roma community, they think that they can't do it, but I really believe that they can, because if you want to do something, you're going to do it. So, you know, and you also need a little bit of that push. So I think it's also important to, you know, stick around friends that also have certain values and goals to be someone in future. Because if you're the only one who wants to do something and you've got 5 friends telling you that you can't do it, you will not go for it. So it's better as a child or as a teenager, this is what you're going to do. You rather go out and, you know, have fun, which I understand. It's part of being a teenager, but I think it's really important to speak to other people, to speak to your teachers, to focus on your GCSEs and make sure you do your GCSEs, because in here, without your GCSEs, you will be stuck. You know, a lot of jobs require GCSEs, and it's better to sit in an office and, you know, do your job, or, you know, have a profession, than going to work as a manual worker when you can speak perfect English, when you have the opportunities to do everything, because you basically living here and you know how the country works. So I think it's really, really, really important to pass your GCSEs, to speak to other professionals or youth workers or teachers on how you can become better, and your choices of where you can go in education. And also to make sure that you get the support from your family or from someone who can help you get there. Because in here, in the UK, you can really achieve whatever you want if you really put your mind to it.
Absolutely amazing. Miriama, really, thank you very much. It was so powerful, you know what you have offered in this interview. So it's amazing. I really appreciate it, and it was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. I hope to obviously meet you in person soon.
Yeah.
And I'm obviously sure that if there are any questions from children and young people that will contact us, we'll be happy to.
Definitely, yeah. Tell them to, you know, message me. They can even message me on my private Facebook if they need to. So whatever they need, I'm here if they need any help.